All right, so this is the first episode of what we're going to do called Q&A. A is in EH, as in Canadian, finish to every sentence. So basically, I'm going to go through from time to time and take a look at the questions that you're posting in the YouTube comment section and try to talk about those a little bit. And so with that, let's get to it. This question comes from our 7th episode, and it's from a user called Hello There 888. It says, do you think Smith will be put back on the top line after he returns now that Chernyshov and Graf have been playing so well? And I think the real answer is yes. If you watched the last episode yesterday, you'll see that I definitely think that Chernyshov deserves to stay up. But I do think that Smith finds his way back to the top line. It's just too hard to deny the chemistry that Macklin and Smith have together. And I think that you're doing a disservice by not having them play together. I do think that long term, I don't think you see Graf or Eklund as the top line left wing. I think that's ridiculous. Well, I don't think it's ridiculous, but I just don't think that that's the case, just because Celebrini and Smith aren't particularly big guys. And so I wouldn't be surprised if long term you see Musty hit the top line on the left wing. Obviously, Musty and Chernyshov and Beestead have all been playing well at the AHL level. But I think that when Musty and Chernyshov come up, I think Musty drops onto the left wing of the top line. And then Chernyshov is right wing of the second line with Misa as the center, because why wouldn't you play two guys together that completely demolish the OHL? And then you have Eklund on the left side of that line. And then moving down to the third line, you have likely Delandria or Gaudette centering that line, with eventually Cardwell on the right, Graf on the left. With potentially, down the road, could be Beestead on that third line. Beestead and Cardwell have played well at the AHL level together. Or it could be Cole McKinney, who's currently with the University of Michigan and was a 4th-round pick of ours this year, but basically looked at as that, it might have been higher than that, but is looked at as that solid 200-foot, two-way center, perfect third-line center. And so, yeah, I think when Smith comes back, I think that he still finds his way to the top line. And you may just play the college line for a while. But Chernyshov's at least making it difficult. He's making it hard to figure out what's going to be with that. I think that at the end of the day, as much as I think he's earned the right to just stay, I think he gets sent back down until they figure out how to move out some parts to free up roster spots to play guys. Or, again, they could send him down just under the premise that the goal is to win the AHL. Because they certainly have the talent to do it. So, yeah, I think that Smith makes it back to that top line. And I think what I would be more worried about is where Kurashev fits in once everybody's back. Because now they've, really kind of got a pretty decent structure going. And as good as he's played, unless somebody moves out, I don't really know where he goes. I guess right now he's either first or third line center. But then I don't know what that does to the rest of the lineup, really. I guess it means that, Skinner, Gaudette, or Delandria are left out on a day-to-day basis, or Goodrow, although Goodrow's been playing really well lately on that fourth line. And based on the comments prior to the Dallas game, I don't think Skinner's super pumped about being scratched so frequently. And so I think he's one where if we can get something out of him, he probably moves. Gaudette and Delandria, I would love to keep both of them, but I just don't know if you can do it and have the roster spots for them without, swapping them in and out of the lineup if you want to keep certain guys up. Yeah, I think Kurashev's the bigger question there. I think Smith goes back into the top line because those guys just have too much chemistry not to keep them together, at least for the time being. But like I said, I think the long-term plan would be with a bigger guy on the left side. Because if you have that, especially if he can play defensively properly, because Smith, that's never going to be his calling card. But I think that if you get a bigger guy on the left side, we've seen what Chernyshov can do by being size on Celebrini's line. So I think if you can get a guy with some size on the left side, then that allows you to leave Smith on the top. Anyway, that's the answer to that one. And like I said, just keep sending through those questions, and hopefully I can spend some time just attacking them, and we can get through this together, figure out what's going to be the future of the San Jose Sharks. Thanks, and we will see you again next time on A View from Outside the Tank. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you later.